Good day. The topic that was given to us was the chapter 10, or the critical evaluation and promotion of local and oral history. First was the museum in the Philippines. Ang museum daw has a big role sa atong process sa education. Di lang siya ga-allow people to experience the culture, pero maka-create sad siya og cultural background sa atong society. Example sa Museum of the Philippines was the Aguinaldo Shrine. It is located in Kawit, Cavite. Mao ni siya ang ancestral house pod ni Emilio Aguinaldo. Dire sad na hitabo ang declaration sa independence nato from Spain. Nga gitawag niya nato og Araw ng Kalayaan or the Independence Day. Pag June 12, 1898. There is a first nga gi-raised ang Philippine flag. The second one is the Ferdinand Marcos Presidential Center, located in Batac, Ilocos Norte. It shows the memorabilia of the late president. Nasa diri ang wax replica sa atong President Marcos nga naka-display siya sa glass coffin na siya sa sulod. The third one is the Oitangcoy Santos House or the Museum of the Women's of Malolos. It is located in Malolos, Bulacan. Na ang kani nga balay is kang Paulino Santos o kang Alberta Oitangcoy Santos. Na diri sa sulod ang collection nila sa surviving artifacts o lain nga mga memorabilia nga relevant sa mga narrative sa mga women ug ang Oitangcoy Santos family. Pero na-destroy ni siya kay nasunog pag 1910, pero gitukod og balik pag 1940. Another one is the Rizal Shrine nga naa sa Calamba, Laguna. It is a Spanish colonial 2-story home. This house was built for 2 years by Rizal's father. So na-built na siya duha ra daw ka tuig sa papa ni Rizal. It provides representation of the home when Rizal grew up, hantod nga sa iyang formal schooling sa Binyan. Diri sad na nakat-on si Rizal nga matulog, mag-sculpt. Then sa ilahang kitchen, nakat-on siya dito mag-alphabet. Sa iyahang bedroom, dito siya nakat-on nga mga J. Sa library, dito siya naka-discover og mga books ug ang asweta nga dito siya na maminaw sa mga stories sa iyahang grandmother. Ang museum daw was the windows of the past. Naa siya time capsules nga mga that put history into perspective with its rich history and culture. Ang museum sa Pilipinas nag-provide og glimpse the country's past enriched by colonization and occupation. Nasa mga art galleries nga nag-promote of local arts and artisans. B. The culture of the Philippines. The culture of the Philippines is the combination daw sa culture sa East and West. The pre-colonial cultures was merged with the influence sa colonizers ug sa Chinese traders. In pre-colonial times, nag-divide ni siya into set of islands and tribes nga ang mamuno nila kay ang ilahang specific nga kings, chieftains, rahas, datos o ang mga sultans. Muna siya sa una. One of the traits was the manopo or the sign of respect to elders. Nga kanang makakita og tiguwang or mga maguwang nimo, moamin ka. Ano siya? The Philippines is represented to us the melting point daw sa Eastern and Western cultures. And the major religion sa atong country was the Christianity o ang Islam, which have played a significant role in shaping our culture sa Pilipinas. The social beliefs and customs practiced are primarily influenced by demographics of the religion where they are practiced. Ang traditional customs of indigenous Filipinos kay naga-based sa beliefs sa Austronesian inhabitants sa atong country. Another is the architecture. Ang Spaniards mo'y nag-introduce sa European colonial architecture. Ilang gi-introduce nato ang stones o ang rocks para sa mag-build og housing o mga as building materials. Ang best nga collection sa Spanish architecture makita siya sa Intramuros, the walled city of Intramuros sa Manila, og sa historic town sa Vigan. Also, the Spanish Baroque architecture, like the colonial era churches, can be found in Ilocos Norte, nasad sa Ilocos Sur, sa Pampanga, nasad sa Bulacan, nasad sa Laguna, sa Cebu, and sa Quezon. Natay makitaan dito anong mga lugar o mga Spanish Baroque architecture, mga era churches. Muna siya example sa earthquake Baroque. And napil sa diri ang bahay na bato, the traditional Filipina Colonia house. Muna siya ang example. Then ang bahay kubo or the nipa hut. It is the common form of housing sa mga native nga Filipinos. Ang gigamit ra diri kay ang bamboo, ang mga coconut fronds para ato mo siya gigamit nga ato ang mga bamboo frond ay coconut fronds. Then the kalesa, mo ni siya ang traditional nga sakyanan sa una. Siya ang mga maghatod sa mga pasahero. Next one is the religion. Before sa arrival sa Spaniards o ang Western cultures, ang Philippines kay appearance of syncretic religions composed of apil na siya ang shamanistic, animism, polytheism, Hinduism ug ang Buddhism. Ang Philippines kay usa sa duha ka predominantly Roman Catholic. 80.58% of the nations in Asia Pacific and the other being East Timor. Makita sa survey sa 2014 nga ang Christianity kay nabot siya og 90.7% sa population. Then ang Islam is 5.57% ug ang others nga mga religion was 4.37% ra sa total population.
Visual arts. Filipinos began creating paintings in the European tradition during 17th century Spanish period. The earliest of the painting were church frescoes, religious imagery, sculptures, and lithographs. Between 19th and 20th century, paintings was produced for religious, political, and landscape works with qualities of sweetness, dark, and light. Arthur Hansen, ama ng makabayang pintor, who uses his hair as paintbrush and signs his painting using his own blood. He developed his skills without any training and guidance from professionals. It has been proven that by 5000 BC, the making of pottery was practiced through the archipelago. Early Philippine painting can be found in red slate clay mixed with water design embellished of the ritual pottery of the Philippines like the Manunggol jar found in the Sanga-Sanga Caves, Sulu and Cagayan, Laurenti Cave. Further evidence of painting manifests in the tattoo tradition of early Filipinos called Pindatos or the painted people of the Visayas. Various designs referencing flora and fauna with heavenly bodies decorate their bodies in various colored pigmentation. Pintados, the Naga dragons, the Sarimano curve. Letras y figuras. Mao na example sa picture na gi-found ni Jose Honorato Lozano. Indigenous art. Some indigenous materials are used as a medium of artworks, especially in painting by Filipino artists like Elito Cerca. He is a folk artist of Pantabangan who uses indigenous materials, raw materials including human blood. Filipino painters was influenced and later uses onions, tomatoes, coffee, molasses, and others as paint. Wooden fabric of Gadang people usually have bright red tones. Can be identified by beaded ornamentation. Other people like the Ilongot make jewelry from pearl, red, hornbill, beaks, plants, and metals. Kutkot art, practiced by in summer between early 1600 and late 1800 AD, a technique combining ancient Oriental and European art process and exotic Philippine art from based on interwoven lines, multi-layered texture, and illusion of 3D space. Binakol, a blanket which features design that incorporate optical illusion. Sangi, Cordillera region of or Calgorotan, the people display their art in tattooing, weaving bags like the sangi, a tradition backpack and carving woods. Moni example nila sa mga kuan. Dyeing abaca fibers. Cut. Practiced by the Lumad people of Mindanao such as Bilaan, Mansaka, Mandaya, and Tibuli. Abaca closely related to bananas and its leaves are used to make fibers known as Manila hemp. Ikat method of dyeing. Ikat fibers woven into cloth with geometric patterns depicting human, animal, and plant themes. Performing arts, dance, panderitas, karinusa, tinikling, and singkel. Music. The earth music is mixture of indigenous, Islamic, and variety of Asian sounds during European and American colonization in the 16th and 20th century. Spanish settlers or Filipinos played instrumentals such as flutes, guitar, ukulele, violin, trumpets, and drum. Song and dances were performed during festival occasion. Folk song and dance were performed by the group the Bayanihan Barangay Mario Aria and Fort Santiago theaters. Filipino composers are Antonio Molina and Felipe de Leon. Modern music uses genres like rap, hip-hop, and others. Philippine literature. Philippine literature started with traditional folktales and legends made by the ancient Filipinos before Spanish colonization. Themes are on pre-colonial cultural tradition and socio-political histories of its colonial and contemporary traditions. Philippine literature illustrates the prehistory and European colonial legacy writing both in indigenous and Hispanic writing system. Some well-known works of literature were created from the 17th to 19th century. There have been proposal to revive all indigenous itik, script, or suya. Ibong Adarna. Mani ang picture sa Ibong Adarna by Jose de la Cruz, Hosing Sisio, a famous epic about a magical bird. Florante at Laura by Francisco Balagtas, considered as high greatest work and one of the masterpieces of Philippine literature, wrote during his imprisonment. Dr. Jose Rizal, Noli Me Tangere, Touch Me Not, El Turismo, The Reign of Greed.
Philippines is one of the Asia's earliest film industry producers. The formative years of Philippine cinema starting from 1870s were a time of discovery of film as a new medium of expressing artworks. Filipinos cook a variety of foods influenced by Indian, Chinese influenced indigenous ingredients. Spanish colonizers in the 16th century brought with them produce from the Americas such as chili, peppers, tomatoes, corn, potatoes, and the method of sauteing garlic and onions. Popular dishes: adobo, lumpia, pancit and lapas, batchoy, and lechon baboy. So mo din siya example: snack and desserts, beverages, condiments. Influenced by Western and Eastern ideology and philosophy from US, Spain, and its neighboring Asian countries. Nursery school to kindergarten 4 to 5 years old. Elementary school enters at 7 years old, 6 to 9 years, including grade 7 to 10 as a junior high school. Junior high school, 2 years course preparation for college with chosen track as ABM, STEM, YOMS, and TechBook. College student can make a choice to continue in college 3 to 5 years and start working. The Palarong Pambansa, a national sports festival started on 1948 but became known on 1976. It serves as National Olympic Games for students. The years 2002 event included football, golf, archery, badminton, baseball, chess, gymnastics, tennis, softball, swimming, table tennis, taekwondo, track and field, and volleyball. Arnis is a martial art which is a national sports of the Philippines. So mo ni siya. The Philippine national basketball team is the powerhouse in Asia and has the best performance of Asian teams in the Olympic and FIBA World Cup. Filipinos have gained international success in sports, mainly in boxing. Manny Pacquiao plus Ilordi and Francisco Giledo. Basketball: Carlos Loizaga, Robert Jaworski, and Ramon Fernandez. Football: Paulino Alcantara. Billiards: Efrain Reyes and Francisco Bustamante. Tin bowling: Rafael Nepomuceno. Chess: Eugene Torre and Renato Naranja. MMA: Mark Monos.
So, traditional Filipino games. Example sa traditional Filipino games na ang luksong tinik, yoyo, patintero, sungka, bahay kubo, tong edge, piko, pusoy. Games commonly played by children usually using native materials or instruments. Due to limited resource of toys, they usually invent games without the need of anything but the players themselves. So, sa una kay wala may kuan, so maghimo og kaugalingon nga dulaan, himo sa mga kahoy, mga bisag unsa nga kuan. And indigenous group. So, indigenous group consists of a large number of Austronesian ethnic groups. They are the descendants of the original Austronesian inhabitants of the Philippines that settled 1,000 years ago. Igorot. Example sa indigenous group kay Igorot or Highland people and Lumad. Igorot, a primitive ethnic group, range from various groups. Groups who built the rice terraces. So ang mga Igorot dayga himo sa rice terraces. Displayed a variety of native cultural expressions and artistic skills in production of bows, baskets, clothing, and weapons. And Lumad kay people of the highlands of Mindanao. Nasa Mindanao Lumad. Remained isolated from western and eastern influences. So indigenous religions are shamanism. Due to arrival of Christianity, Islam, and other world religions, the indigenous rituals and spiritual practices are fast disappearing. Cultural workers suggest that Paiwan model, which are made by Taiwanese government to preserve indigenous religions. The indigenous practices and shamanism of the Paiwan people of Taiwan was the fastest declining religion in the country. Each indigenous religion is distinct from each other, possessing unique epics and belief system. Shamanism or Dayawism, a gallant religious that give thanks to all living and non-living things. Intangible cultural heritage. Sa Philippines was invented by UNESCO to nominate intangible heritage elements for the inclusion to the proclamation of masterpieces of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity. This prompted the proclamation of the Hudhud chant of Ifugao in 2001 and Darangan epic chants of Maranao in 2005. Ponok tagging ritual of Ifugao was included in 2015. The Pinagmutan was published on 2012. And in the 2016, the Philippine Inventory of Intangible Cultural Heritage listed 367 elements. And that's all. Thank you.